So Dave, the transfer window. Tolu looks a good addition. Big lad, 6'6", strong. Got a decent goal scoring record as well. So hopefully he will fit in nicely at Wolves. The problem is these players aren't going to gel overnight, so that is the worry. If we remember with Cunha, it took him 15, 20 games to get settled, and it might happen with these players. But sadly, we haven't got the time to wait. Couple of outgoings. Lima, this is going to be good experience for him at Porto. Overall, listen, we are where we are at the minute. Hopefully, there's quite a few new faces. They will gel quickly. We'll start to see some performances. They'll play for the shirt and get some competition. The biggest signing of this window is keeping Jurgen Strand-Larsen. That is the big one for us. So, here we go. Let's see. And then let's see if Fosun panic buying January again. So, Jonas is here with me now to give a rating out of 10. Jonas, what are we going to rate the Wolves transfer window out of 10?
I don't know.
You said 6. 6.
Sleepwalking into relegation would be the summary of this transfer window. Yet again, we've sold our crown jewels over the summer. And then we shop in Lidl in the middle half for replacements. No disrespect to the likes of Lopez or Aria. Could be good players in the long term. But a team needs time to gel. And every season we disassemble that team. We take away the spine, be it a Kilman, a Neves, a Jota. We sell our best assets and then replace them with prospects, talent that might come good. And again, this season, we've done exactly the same. This relegation battle begins now in earnest, 3 games in, and we look like a championship side in the making against Everton. It's pathetic, isn't it? You know, you couldn't give us any more than a 2 out of 10 at best. Fosun just needs to sell this club to someone who's interested, who can come in and actually invest in the team. Absolutely pathetic.
So the Wolves transfer window has closed. Okay. I share a lot of disappointment with fellow Wolves fans on this. I completely get it. We started the window with the departures of Ainouri and Cunha. That was fully expected, you know, going back to the end of last season, if we're honest. So those deals were done very, very early. And then, of course, we had the ongoing saga of Nelson Semedo, and then we had the inevitable departure of Pablo Sarabia. Well, so 2 names that I mentioned, first of all, in Cunha and Ainouri, a very high profile. I don't think we can overlook the fact that we've lost our captain and a real experienced figurehead in the team. And also Pablo Sarabia, who wasn't perhaps one of the first names on the team sheet, but again has a lot of experience. So when you look at replacing these type of players, we've not replaced them with experience. Now I understand you're not going to perhaps replace like for like and get that quality through the door straight away. But for me, the window's very unbalanced. We've taken a chance here, a big chance and a big risk. We've taken a risk on the basis that we've let go of Tommy Doyle and Boubacar Traore and been very cagey on the fact that we don't legislate for any loss of form, injury or suspension to Joe Gomez and Andre. That's a huge risk to take. And then the signings, as I've referenced there, they're basically potential at this stage. We're missing character, we're missing experience, and we need a lot of luck to get us to January. So in summary, I can't give it more than a 4 out of 10.
Good morning, people. The morning after the night before transfer deadline day. What set out to be a promising start with getting rid of all our dead wood and players that didn't want to be here has ultimately ended in what I deem as a failure. Yes, they've spent some money. What they bought in, not much of their own, I might add, about £500,000 of their own. But it's poor. Midfield is going to take a right hit this season. If we get any injuries in midfield, we are bang in trouble. The 2 wing backs, don't really know what to say. We haven't replaced quality with ready-made quality. We bought a centre forward too that's openly admitted he's not match fit and could take some weeks to get there. So we could be right in the mire by then, even more than we are now. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10 rating and an open message to Jeff Shee your time is up at this club. You are running amok within the corridors of Molineux and just causing carnage with every decision you make. It's time for you to go.
Hello Dave, hello everybody. My thoughts are I'm disappointed. The promises that keep being made just keep letting us down, don't they, She and Co? They've got to go, Dave. They've got to. The first opportunity that they get to sell, please just go. We want somebody in that's going to want to progress and see our team succeed. As for the transfer itself, the players that have gone, I'm disappointed. But I think we've done well money-wise in the ones that we've sold, whereas the ones that we brought in, I'm quite impressed with that for Lopez, absolutely superb. Tolu, who's just come in, very nice. It's not enough, is it? It's not enough. We haven't brought in enough. Things need to change. Never mind. Rating, I'm going to go 6. Always Wolves.
Hello Dave, my thoughts about the transfer window. I suppose in one word, it's underwhelming. None of the players that we've actually signed in this window, apart from Strand Larsen, obviously, did I know. I saw videos of them. I think there's a promise there with Jackson, the right back, and Wolf, the left back, and Per Lopez is getting up to speed. Let's just hope that the new centre forward, the Nigerian lad, hits the ground running and takes the Premier League by storm. We can only hope. Arias is taking his time at the moment, but I do see glimpses there. The Strand Larsen thing, although we signed him in this window and he was already here, it's turned out to be really a signing, hasn't it? Because he didn't go to Newcastle, which I suppose was good. But I just hope and pray that everything works out okay and Vitor can work his magic with these lads. Okay. Oh, hello Dave. Sorry, I forgot to give my rating earlier. I'll give it a 6. Basically, we have signed 5 new players for Strand Larsen. I was hoping for better, but it is what it is.
So, transfer window over. A bit of a disaster, I think. A transfer window is designed to bolster, improve and strengthen your first 11 and your squad. And I think we've done the opposite. We've pretty much ripped it apart, took away all the quality and replaced it with lots of potential. They may come good, they may not. They all deserve a lot of time. But we haven't got time, we're bottom of the league. So you always need 2 or 3 proven quality or just Premier League ready players. Nottingham Forest have done it, Aston Villa have done it, even Burnley, Sunderland and Leeds have done it. So if other clubs can do it, why can't we? Mismanagement by a hierarchy that's not interested, has no clear vision, no inspiration, and they need to go. 1 out of 10.
Well, thoughts on the transfer window? I'm going to say I'm going to be more optimistic and give it a 6 out of 10. Because I think the fact we've got such a negative slant on it might be, rather than looking at what we did get in a way and how good those signings could end up being, I think the dampen has been put on it by what we didn't get with that centre midfield and that number 10. Obviously we need those positions, but I think if you look at the fact that we've got Tolu in and we've got Craigie at centre back, we've clearly got defensive problems, but it's impossible at this time to say whether Craigie is the answer or not. I feel you can't quite write him off just yet. He could be a solid addition and could tighten us up at the back. And I think, to be fair, if we do tighten up at the back, that's a big part of our problem solved in terms of what we saw against Everton. So let's just give that a little bit of time. We've paid a lot of money for him. We will pay a lot of money for him, the way the deal's been structured. But yeah, he could be a really solid addition, and he could solve a lot of problems there. I think the wing backs needed. I think they needed to spend a little more money in the wing back positions. But I've always thought Hugo Bueno is a good option anyway, who obviously was returning from a loan at Feyenoord anyway. Wolf as his backup, again, could work. But I think that right back area, I feel maybe with losing Nelson, we might have gone a little bit more ambitious, but you never know what Jackson might end up developing really well. So again, that's why I'm going to give it a more ambitious 6. I think at the end of the day as well, keeping Strand Larsen was massive, which probably nudges it to a 6 as well. And if you look on paper, okay, we're missing in key areas. However, if we do switch to, you know, like a 3-4-1-2, then there is options there. You know, you look at Strand Larsen and you look at Tolu and you look at his record in the Belgian league and you look at Strand Larsen's record last year in the Premier League, and you start to think, you know what, if they do click and they do get firing, that could be enough to see us okay alone. And then we've got options in behind them in that one sort of number 10 role in behind, in that attacking midfielder role. You've got the options like Fer Lopez, who again, another player who could come good. He's looked good at times if he can take to the league quickly. So I think it's too soon to write it off completely as an appalling window. I think there's been some sort of issues and shortcomings in terms of recruitment. You can't hide that. But I think there is some options within the squad. I think Pereira's got a limited options in midfield, but across the whole squad, I think enough to work with to keep us within touching distance until January, I'd say. I think we've got a squad that can compete if he sets us up well. So it's not going to be pretty, I don't think, this season. But you know, I'm not ready to say all doom and gloom just yet.